leave, bro. We'll leave, alright? Come on. Let's go.
This unsettling journey was documented by James, better known to many as the Bearded Explorer. For over 8 years, James has captivated his audience with stunning footage of forgotten places, abandoned hospitals, crumbling mansions, long empty schools and factories. He brings them all to life, revealing the beauty hidden inside decay. Calm, collected, and fearless, James is no stranger to the eerie and unexplained. But what happened during this particular trip? It shook him in a way nothing else had. It was September 25th, 2021. A warm, golden evening. The sky was glowing. Shades of pink and orange brushed across the horizon. It looked like the kind of night where nothing bad could happen. But under that calm sky, James was preparing for something far darker. His destination, an abandoned hospital, a place whispered about by other explorers. The rumors, strange noises, dark figures, a heavy sense of dread. James had heard all that before, and he'd never been one to buy into ghost stories. But this time was different.
To explore an abandoned hospital. Now, this hospital is meant to be really creepy, and there's a lot of stuff in there. So let's go and check it out and see what we can find. So I'm currently just walking up the old service road to this place. You can see it hasn't been used in years. You know, the old main gate's just back there. This place hasn't been used in a long time. There's an old lamppost just there as well, like a green one. That's pretty cool, look. It's definitely got some character to it. Okay, I can see the main building. We're almost there.
As always, James opened the video with his usual steady voice, speaking clearly through the camera's quiet static. He explained his plan to explore the building, document what was left behind, and maybe find some forgotten details most people miss. That's what he does best. Uncover the story that still lingers in places time has left behind.
Okay, so I found a way into this hospital. Oh, I can smell it as soon as I get in. Wow. Oh my goodness me, this is super creepy. Wow, this is so cool. Look at all of the furniture in here.
He entered through a side door. Immediately, something felt off. The air inside the building was still, almost too still. Light filtered through broken windows, painting the walls in soft, dusty beams. Furniture still stood in some rooms. Beds, chairs, machines covered in dust, but strangely untouched. James noted how intact everything seemed. "This is going to be a fantastic explore," he said on camera, unaware of what was about to unfold.
Oh. Right, I think we'll go up this way. God, look at the paint peel in here. This is probably the best paint peel I have seen in a disused hospital. Wow, in any building. Oh, wow, look at this.
As he moved deeper inside, the details became clearer. Old files scattered on the floor, rusted equipment, faded hospital signs pointing in all directions. The kind of details that tell you this place was once full of life, and now full of silence. He walked the hallways, flashlight in hand, narrating as he went. His calm tone never wavered. But then, the silence shifted.
I think this place closed back in the 1980s. You know, it's been empty for a very long time. I'm actually surprised it's still here. Normally they bring these places down, like... What was that? Oh, I'm hearing noises in there now. That wasn't nice. It sounded like footsteps. That was really creepy.
Footsteps, faint, slow, echoing through the hall behind him. James stopped, completely still. He waited, listened. The sound didn't repeat. Maybe just the building settling, he thought. Old places make noise, but that moment stuck with him. Still recording, he pushed forward. But with every step, the feeling grew stronger. The pressure in the air, the weight in his chest, like the building itself was watching.
Hairs on my arm all standing up on end at the moment. Oh, this is the creepiest place I think I've ever been in. Theatre bins. Oh, goodness me. I can't believe how much stuff is in here. There is so much stuff in here. Oh, what was that? I don't think there's anyone else in here. I'm sure there isn't. God, this is really creepy. Do you know what I hate? I love it, but I hate it at the same time. Walk around these places on your own because, I don't know, right now it feels like there's someone like stood right behind me following me. There's not, but it feels like that. Oh, God. Oh, why have I just got really freaked out all of a sudden? Do you know what? I am absolutely terrified, but at the same time, I'm kind of like enjoying the adrenaline rush. It's such a weird feeling. Like, for you guys watching it at home, you know, you might be sort of like scared, but for me, actually being here doing it, the feelings I'm getting are just on another level, you know? They really are.
He moved to the upper floors, hoping for better light. The windows there were broken wide open. Cracks in the walls let in narrow beams of sun, casting strange shadows that danced with every movement. James kept exploring, keeping his voice steady, but his eyes were sharper now. He wasn't just filming, he was on alert.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but that floor started to give way a little bit then. Oh, I think it might be a suspended floor, actually. What was that? That was weird. Oh, God. Yeah, look at that, look. Wow. We've got just 2 empty rooms here, I think. Cool, well, I think that is pretty much everything, guys. I think that's the whole site done. So take a walk back downstairs. Now I'm going to do some pictures, do some cinematics, and then I think we can make a move.
Believing he's explored every corner of the building, James gets ready to wrap up his visit. Before leaving, he decides to record some dramatic shots. Slow, sweeping views of the empty corridors, crumbling rooms, and echoes of a forgotten time. But just as he prepares to finish, the true nightmare begins.
Hello? Oh, fucking hell. What the hell was that?
Then came the bang. A sudden, loud crash echoed from somewhere behind him. Not close, but not far. It didn't sound like something falling naturally. It sounded deliberate. He spun around, flashlight out, camera aimed. His breathing changed, quicker, tighter. Probably just debris, he said, more to himself than anyone watching. But his face said something else. He scanned the rooms. Nothing. No movement, no signs of life. Still, he pressed on. He had come this far.
What the hell is that? Starting to be some really weird stuff in here. What was that? Oh, fuck. Ouch.
As he turned the corner to get back to the stairwell, a second bang rang out. This time it was much closer. James didn't wait. Adrenaline took over. He bolted down the hall, around the corner, crashing through vines and thorns that had grown through broken doors. He didn't care about cuts or getting scratched up. He just needed out.
Right. I saw something then. I saw something. I definitely saw something in there then. What the hell? What the hell was that? Oh, God. Right, whatever that was, I don't know what it was. I have just seen something in there which is pretty much fighting the life out of me. It looked like a person, but I don't think it was a person. It didn't look like a person. It just looked like something that just, I don't know. I'm going to go back through the footage. I hope to God I've got that in camera, because that has just freaked me out. Right. Oh God, I'm freaking out now. Right, I'm going, guys.
His feet pounded against the concrete floor. His heart raced so hard it felt like it might break through his chest. Something in that building wasn't right. Something was there, and it wasn't human. By the time he reached the exit, the camera was still on, catching the frantic breath in his voice. He burst outside into the fading daylight, brushing past the broken frame of the hospital door. He didn't stop until he reached his car. His hands shook as he fumbled with his keys, glancing in the mirror, checking the shadows behind him. It felt like something could be right there, watching, waiting. The drive home was a blur, trees passing by, the road winding endlessly. The only thing louder than the tires on the pavement was the noise inside his head. What did I hear? What did I feel? What was following me? When he finally posted the video, James included a description that was different from his usual style. He admitted he didn't know what to make of what he'd experienced. He wrote simply, "Whatever it wasn't human, and I won't be going back, not alone." James didn't have answers, only questions. And that, he said, was the worst part. Not knowing what had been there, not knowing if it might still be watching. We're on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers. Be part of our journey. Hit that subscribe button now and let's make it happen together. You ever walk into a place and instantly feel like something's wrong? That's exactly the vibe this house gives off. Tucked deep in the mountains, hidden from view. They say a girl named Violetta once lived here. Her name might sound soft, but translated it means violent. And what she did lives up to that meaning. One night, something inside her broke. Completely. She murdered her entire family, right inside these walls. It's the kind of story that turns a house into a warning sign. Locals avoid it. Visitors, they don't usually stick around.
What is up, everyone? Thank you for watching Franco TV. So I've made it deep out into the mountains, where there is a very well-known haunted house, where spirits tend to come from the house and roam through the road. And the reason why that is because a girl that is supposed to have lived in this house murdered her entire family. I'm going to go over the story while I'm exploring the location. But as of right now, let's get into the video.
Even the road leading up to it has its own twisted history. There have been multiple accidents, cars veering off for no reason. Drivers report swerving to miss strange figures suddenly appearing in the road. It's like they're trying to stop anyone from getting close to what's inside.
But look at this. Over here in the road is where there'll be many car accidents, where people swerve out of the way to avoid the spirits that would supposedly be coming from this very house. Let me go ahead and switch into night vision so it's not too hard to see.
And if you think that's just urban legend, it gets worse. Investigators who've dared to enter the house found something chilling. Bloodstains, real ones, still visible on the walls, and we're not talking about old, faded marks. These are dark, clear stains, forming trails, evidence of where Violetta dragged her sister's body across the floor. It's like the house itself won't let the memory fade.
This is gonna get kind of graphic. Probably you can't tell now, but right here in this room, she killed her sister with a knife before she beheaded her. And when she did, the blood sprayed, and all of this is her blood. I know it's kind of gross, but that's the stains of her blood after it sprayed against the wall. This is what I was told.
Ella estaba dormida en su cama, ¿no? Y ella levanta a su mamá, a levantarse, agarra, lo mete. Pa, y la sangre se va por la pared.
Con un cuchillo. Apparently it's even onto the ground as well. But they're kind of like white spots. This is what he showed me. And after she killed her sister, the blood trail still continues because she dragged her bodies down the staircase area. And as you can see, there's still blood marks right there. Now it's dried up blood, that's why it's black. Also down here, like it's still spraying blood. I don't know if blood was still squirting from her neck or whatever, but it's still blood marks there. And it's a true story because it was all over the news and it's known for throughout the town, and that's why this whole place was abandoned. This is terrifying.
As the team explored deeper, the energy shifted. Strange sounds echoed through the halls, footsteps overhead, doors creaking, and what sounded like someone screaming far off in the woods, but they were alone, or at least they thought they were. Then they found the room.
I did just hear what sounds like someone screaming outside. It almost sounded like somebody was in pain. I don't know if that was something from the distance or maybe the spirits of when somebody got murdered here. I don't know, but that sounded like a really creepy scream and it kind of got me on edge. Holy shit, I just saw like a shadow right by the door.
This room wasn't just creepy, it was ritualistic. Skulls, said to belong to Violetta's victims, were arranged neatly, almost like a shrine. Visitors had left offerings, bottles of water, trinkets, coins, and the creepiest part, the water kept disappearing. No explanation, just gone.
These are real skulls. Alright, I'm gonna put it in here. I just heard another footstep. I don't know if you guys picked that up, but I just heard a footstep upstairs. I'm gonna go completely dark. Oh, that just blinded me. The weird thing is that in this room it actually feels more peaceful because I feel like the family's together. But it doesn't feel as tense as the rest of the house.
Por eso cocinarnos a la familia. Al día siguiente, pues, nadie sabía cómo murió la familia, sino que cuando italianos su papá regresa de Lima, ya toda la familia estaba muerta, pero en el túnel, solamente las habitaciones que dormían estaban llenas de sangre.
They pretty much put their offerings here to make sure that they have their blessings and stuff, and pretty much to wish good fortune.
¿Cómo van consumiendo? Mira, mayormente los sacerdotes llenan su vasito de agua, ¿no? Mira, ahora mira, ya está en la mitad, ya va consumiendo. ¿Ya? Y allá también va consumiendo, va terminando, al último ya no tiene agüita, mira.
So if you look at the cups here, those little cups, they leave water there. And they drink it. Every day they come by, the water's low and low and low, and they're drinking the water.
Then came the ghost hunting gear. Using EVP recorders, they started getting responses. short, distorted voices whispering back at them. And then, caught on camera, a shadow figure walked straight across the hallway. No sound, no warning, gone in a blink.
It just passed right by the door. Like right when I looked, it was just in passing. Violet, was that you? I don't feel like I'm alone in this house.
Still, the lead investigator wasn't done. He sat down in total darkness, right next to the skulls. One final EVP session. The voices that came through weren't just responses, they were warnings, as if something trapped in the house was still trying to speak.
I am now in the last room in this house with the skulls. Basically what I'm going to do is start an Obula session, but I'm going to be in the pitch darkness. I'm going to have all the lights off. I'm going to be alone with the skulls behind me asking questions. I don't know what could happen. The sounds of the footsteps upstairs, or what I've heard, have kind of stopped. I haven't heard it since then.
Don't go there.
Go where? I have the roof. She just answered me. Don't go there, the roof. They said she lost her mind, and that her sister, their sister, lost her mind, or she was possessed by demons, and she just went rapid killing everyone in the house. She was a normal girl, and this just happened out of nowhere, pretty much. I'm sorry that they have your heads mounted up on the house when it should be in your...
Cover. Karma.
So, what really happened here? Was Violetta possessed, like the locals claim? Or was something darker already living in that house, waiting for a weak mind to twist? Whatever the truth is, this house isn't empty, and if you go looking for answers, don't be surprised when something answers back. Tobias is a German urban explorer who's spent nearly a decade diving into the forgotten corners of the world. Abandoned theme parks, crumbling hospitals, decaying military sites, he's seen it all. Through his channel, he's documented each moment, capturing both the beauty and the unease that come with exploring places left behind. He's walked the halls of Billits Heilstätten, filmed the overgrowth at Spree Park, Berlin, and even wandered through Hitler's Olympic Village. But this time, it wasn't one of those infamous landmarks that shook him. It was just a quiet, run-down house, tucked away near his own neighborhood. It was October 29th, 2017. The air was sharp, the kind of cold that made you breathe deeper. Still, Tobias was ready, camera in hand, flashlight charged. He wasn't alone this time. His close friend Connor joined him, someone he'd explored with many times before. They'd faced strange sights in the past, but nothing quite like this. From the moment they stepped inside, something felt off. The house didn't just look abandoned, it felt wrong. The walls were cracked, ceiling sagging under years of decay, and broken furniture lay scattered across the floors. But more than anything, it was the air. Heavy, still, like the house itself was holding its breath. Tobias started filming, sweeping his camera across the ruined rooms. The usual signs of abandonment were there: peeling wallpaper, shattered windows, dust covering everything. They quietly moved from room to room, narrating the state of the building, searching for anything unusual to share with their viewers. Then, 10 minutes in, everything changed.
Alles abge...
Keine Ahnung. Da waren auf jeden Fall Schritte. Nee. Das war, glaube ich, nicht von dir. Aber nicht aus.
They heard it. Footsteps. Above them. Both of them froze. No talking. No breathing. Just that slow, deliberate sound of someone walking across the floor above. They switched off their lights. Stood in darkness. Waiting. Listening. The steps continued. And then started coming down the stairs. A flashlight beam flickered through the black. Someone was coming. Closer. But what made the moment truly chilling wasn't the fact that someone else was there. It was how they acted. The person didn't panic, didn't turn back. They just walked past Tobias and Connor like it was nothing. No surprise, no fear, as if they knew the boys were there and didn't care. Tobias and Connor didn't say a word. They barely moved. Their hearts were pounding. The person disappeared out of view. And just like that, they were gone. The two explorers slowly, quietly made their way toward the exit. Every sound felt 10 times louder. Every step felt like it could give them away. But they never saw the person again. When they finally stepped out into the cold night air, relief hit them like a wave. There was no chase, no confrontation. But there was a question. Who was that? A squatter? Maybe. Another urban explorer? Possibly. But there was something strange about how calm they were, how they walked through the darkness without hesitation, fully aware of being watched and yet completely unbothered. Neither Tobias nor Connor could explain it, and the person never appeared on camera. Whatever the truth is, Tobias and Connor left that house changed. They've explored a lot since then. But this night still lingers, a reminder that in forgotten places, the real danger might be the things you can see and the people who see you back. And believe it or not, in the next video, things only get darker. This disturbing video is from the channel called The Proper People Extras, known for raw and atmospheric explorations of forgotten places. It's a side channel to The Proper People, where explorers Michael and Brian take viewers inside decaying hospitals, factories, and other abandoned buildings. But this particular trip, it felt different. The date was December 19th, 2016, cold, quiet, and the location, an abandoned insane asylum, isolated, overgrown, and full of stories. The kind of place you don't explore lightly, and definitely not at night. But that's exactly when Michael and Brian decided to go. They weren't just looking for footage, they wanted the full experience. The silence, the darkness, the tension.
Yes.
In the brush.
The cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull right up to this sucker.
Oh, and the door's right open. Look at the vines. It's missing the top piece. Does that mean there's no roof? Holy shit, look at the graffiti. We're gonna get jumped in here. Car is locked.
In we go. Into hell. mostly destroyed.
Where do you want to go first? Is that a basement staircase? Yeah.
I mean, the entire freaking wall is missing to go down into it. But hell, why not start with the basement?
As they pulled up, the asylum looked like something out of a nightmare. Vines twisted up the crumbling walls. The roof sagged. Graffiti covered the exterior as if trying to warn people away. The building had clearly been left to rot, but it didn't feel empty. Not really. They stepped inside and were immediately hit with the heavy, musty air of decay. Debris littered the floors. Ceilings had caved in. Furniture was overturned and rusted. Every room felt frozen in time, and something about it made the hair on the back of their necks stand up.
You want to lead?
Not really.
It'll probably be warmer down here. Oh yeah, don't slip.
You say don't slip. Oh, you need warmer in the basement. I'm colder in the basement.
Will it really?
Usually. The fuck? There's no walls.
I should have known this for this place.
Jesus Christ. The gating on the windows, but there's no windows left. It's just a hole.
This is probably the most ravaged place we've ever been in. No, I don't even think this is a basement. That's just an animal. No, this is not a basement though.
I heard rustling.
I hear a lot of rustling in here.
Yeah.
Another staircase. There's a chair in here though. An interesting one.
It's like a shitter. You can poop right in that hole.
Now. A hobo shitter.
Well,
House of Clowns. I hope not. The hell are these?
Still, they kept going. As they walked through the dark hallways, their flashlights cutting through the shadows, they noticed strange messages on the walls. Symbols, names, warnings. The deeper they went, the more it felt like the building had soaked up every bad memory it ever held.
Fridges maybe? Alright, you wanna go upstairs?
what is it? I don't know. There's trees rustling in the wind. Jesus Christ. Fucking scary.
You hear that?
It's the wind.
Sound like a footstep inside.
I didn't hear that.
Alright, upstairs.
Do you see outside?
Just trees. Yeah, I'd be very careful of the floor every step we take. You guys might notice that every place that's really destroyed like this, we tend to do it at night to make it more interesting. But it works because it's fucking terrifying.
This is nothing in this room.
Let's go that way though, because it goes back towards the main entrance area, and I can check with my car. You know, I don't know what the hell could have happened here that's this destroyed.
I'm scared.
There's not gonna be anybody here. Whoa, look at this. Look at this staircase out here. Oh, there's somebody there.
No way.
Yes, I see their light. They're out there. I swear on my life.
Then they heard something, rustling, from outside. At first they brushed it off. Maybe an animal, maybe wind. But then, through a shattered window, they saw it. A flashlight. Someone, or something, was out there. The light flickered for a second, and disappeared. They weren't alone. Their first instinct wasn't fear, it was caution. They called out, hoping to figure out who was there. No answer. They tried again. Still nothing. Whoever was out there wasn't just passing by. They were avoiding them. Watching.
Right there. Should I say hello?
Yeah.
There's somebody out there. Let's go back to the car. This way. If it's somebody wanting to talk to us.
Let's go to the car now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's go to the car.
It looked like a cell phone, right?
Like a cell phone light, yeah. Should we just bail?
I don't know. Let's see who it is.
There's no other car here.
He was on this side.
That was 100%.
That was a person. But he had a phone.
Why is there a person here? Like, what the f?
Not wanting to risk a confrontation inside an isolated, crumbling asylum, Michael and Brian decided to cut the exploration short. If someone wanted to make contact, it would be safer near the car. Somewhere they could leave if things went bad.
Yeah, I don't like the feeling
I
of
say we
this.
bail.
Yeah,
Just get out of here.
probably.
There he is.
Where? You saw a light? Hello?
Hello?
I don't like it. Let's go.
Yeah, the fact that they're not answering back. Let's get out of here.
It's too sketchy. Like, they could be wanting to, like, rob us. Yeah.
Like, who the f could be out here?
Alone with, like, no
f***ing car.
fuck. That was weird.
Good thing I looked out that window to see the staircase.
Yeah.
You know, we could have gotten jumped or something.
They made it back without seeing the figure again. But the question stuck with them. Who was that? And why did they hide? Was it another explorer? Or someone who didn't want to be found? Sometimes the scariest part of exploring isn't the place. It's who's out there with you. So if you were in their shoes, would you have kept filming? Or would you have left the moment that light disappeared? In the quiet town of Harriman, Tennessee, there's a hospital with a reputation so dark that even the bravest won't go near it. Built in 1939 and shut down in 2013, this abandoned medical facility has earned a chilling nickname among locals. Not just haunted, untouchable. The stories surrounding the place are so intense that even the police avoid stepping inside. When they respond to calls about trespassers or strange activity, they stop at the entrance and wait. The fire department, They've openly joked that if it ever goes up in flames, they'll just stand outside roasting marshmallows.
The old historic Harriman Hospital sat empty for about 10 years.
Harriman Hospital is one of probably the most active and haunted locations I have ever been in.
Travel Channel filmed an episode of Destination Fear here.
It's just amazing the amount of activity that's going on in that building.
You can go. You can spend the night in the old haunted hospital right now.
From the very start of their tour, things felt wrong. As they made their way down a long corridor, they spotted what looked like a man standing at the far end of the hallway, silent, still, watching. It wasn't just a shadow or reflection, it was clear enough to make them stop in their tracks. This wasn't a one-time thing. Law enforcement had seen similar figures during early morning patrols, shapes moving past windows, faces watching from the dark, always gone before anyone could get close.
Earlier with one of the docents, actually a couple of them, and I saw what looked like a man standing here, and this is something that they see a lot. In fact, this place is that haunted that even the police, when they were doing their trainings here, were so scared that they don't want to come back in here.
And one of the police officers noticed somebody in a window on the first floor. We pulled up at 4 in the morning. He said, "Were you over there?" And we said, "No." So we had to go with him. So we were turning on breakers and looking for bad guys. And it turned out when it was done and over with, it had to have been a spirit. There was nobody here.
Things got more intense when the team reached a particular hallway known for unexplained activity. A staff member had once reported seeing a hand reach out from a doorway, and as if responding to that memory, the investigator's spirit box suddenly spoke. It said one of their names, even though no one had mentioned it aloud.
Right over there.
She said a hand came out like that, and she saw a hand, and she took a deep breath, come out and told us, and we came in here with her, and it was just 3 of us in here. So there's things you need to watch for when you come in here, because this is newly open. This used to be open when the police department was here and the fire department was here. There was power to the hospital. The doors are magnetic, so from this end all the way down block long, the doors would be open, and that's where you can look and see people moving. Shadow Hall.
Can you show your hand again? Oh gosh. We heard you. All right, we're gonna try to find out what it was that was creeping its hand on the other side. We would love to see that again and catch that on camera. But if we can't, do you have anything to say?
What did that just say?
It just said my name. It just said my freaking name.
The tension peaked in the old operating rooms. There, both investigators saw what looked like a young child in a striped shirt standing just ahead of them. The sight hit hard, so real that one of them said their heart felt like it skipped a beat. It wasn't just creepy, it was undeniable.
I saw like a little kid standing over there. There was a little kid standing over there. He had like a striped shirt on. What?
My heart.
You saw
rate,
it too?
My heart. Feel my heart.
Did you see it too?
Feel my heart.
Okay. Feel my heart. Dude, wow. There was a kid standing over there with a striped shirt on.
In the nursery, they found something even more disturbing. An old bassinet, left untouched from the hospital's early days, cradled a lifelike baby doll. The setting was deeply personal for one staff member named Rhonda. She had been born in that very room, as had her children. It made them wonder, if the love and loss that passed through this room were strong enough, could something still linger? Some say they've heard phantom cries echoing through the halls at night.
So Rhonda was saying she was born here. She was in this room. This was like the nursery. And they brought in some like bassinets. Got a little clown.
But that's the original.
Oh, this is an original?
Yes.
Like, oh wow, okay. That's pretty cool. That baby looks really real too.
But the strangest moment came when the team entered a room tied to a truly bizarre story. Someone once claimed they saw a man being pulled into thin air, like something invisible had swallowed him whole.
It was somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it?
It was, oh no, it was 2 girls. It was two other girls, yeah. They said they walked by
seen a man in there that looked like he was being sucked into something, and he was like
it was
fighting
like a
out
vacuum.
of it. Mm-hmm.
He was getting like sucked in, and it was right here. I wonder if that has anything to do with the hotel that caught fire. What are some things that would like suck you in? I mean, not necessarily a fire.
Mm-hmm.
The flood.
Oh, like a whirlpool?
Yeah, the flood from 1929. Supposedly like all the streets here. I mean, we're in downtown Harriman right now, and just about every building here is haunted.
As they made their final walk through the halls, it became clear this wasn't just about ghosts. It was about memory, about people who lived and died here, and maybe never truly left. These spirits weren't here to scare. They were simply waiting to be remembered.
Staying in one room and just staying in the dark and asking questions. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think you could catch a lot more just going around and exploring and just maybe spending times in different areas and just like, we got to cover this entire place. Honestly, I don't think we got to cover this entire place. I mean, there's places that are still kind of closed off, of course, and we got lost a few times, so there was a lot of places we did miss too. However, I feel like we may have caught some stuff that we wouldn't have if we just stayed put in one particular place. And we did have fun staying in a couple different places too and doing the spirit box and whatnot, but I don't know.
Meet Tom, a seasoned urban explorer known for diving headfirst into the forgotten corners of the world. Through his YouTube channel, TPEX, he's built a reputation for turning decayed buildings into gripping stories. With every place he visits, he uncovers a different kind of silence, one filled with memories, dust, and sometimes something else entirely. This time, the location was a massive, long-abandoned high school just outside Gary, Indiana. Once full of energy, morning bells, and crowded hallways, it had been closed for decades. First a public school, then a short-lived charter, it eventually shut down completely, left to crumble under time's weight. It was January 9th, 2024. Tom and his longtime friend David arrived just as the winter sun began to dip. The air was cold, the building colder. From the outside, the school looked like any other forgotten structure. Boards over windows, graffiti on bricks, nature beginning to take it back. But inside, it was something else entirely.
Coming up the hallway, shoulder pads, just leads to a closet of all the football equipment. All these shoulder pads they just left behind. It's really cool. The buckle has rust. This looks like they're old dirty laundry. Alright, so we just made it into the pool. And there's another one over there with a diving board. This is where the spectators would be though. It's really cool to see. There's still water in the pool. Over there, there's still a scoreboard up too. And then you can see the lifeguard stuff they left in the pool, floating in that disgusting water. Over on this side, the bigger pool. Look at all that stuff they left in there. This side was 5 feet. I don't know how deep it actually went fully, but it's definitely very big. Got some lockers in this hallway. They're super rusted out. A random little piano in this hallway. It really wants to work. An old ironing board just random in the hallway with a suspicious looking stain.
The hallways seemed endless, lined with broken lockers and peeling posters. Papers were still scattered across the floor, as if class had ended just yesterday. Chalkboards bore faded notes. Desks and chairs sat untouched, frozen in time. The stillness was eerie, but also fascinating. The two explorers marveled at how preserved everything was. So much so, they stopped paying attention to their surroundings. That's when it happened.
So we just came down to the actual auditorium. This place is massive. The red seats are really cool. There's just rows on rows of these red seats. And then a second level up there too. The seats are actually in really nice condition for how the rest of the school looks. Looks like some kids got in here and were throwing some stuff from the balcony area. Oh, hey, what's up, man? You want us to get on out of here? Hey, we'll leave, bro. We'll leave, alright? Go. Let's go. Just get out of any door. This door right here. You sure? Let's go. Yo, let's go. What the f? Yo, he pulled up on me, bro. He wasn't saying it.
Turning a corner, they froze. In the low light of the hallway stood a man, still, watching. He didn't speak, didn't move. His face was blank, unreadable. Tom and David weren't sure if he was real, or someone else exploring the school. But then he moved. Fast. The man sprinted toward them without warning, raising a long metal pipe as he ran. There was no time to ask questions, no time to figure out what he wanted. Instinct took over. Tom and David ran. Their boots pounded against the concrete, breath quick and shallow as they tore through hallway after hallway, the stranger close behind. Doors flew open, papers swirled around their feet. The building became a maze, but eventually they found an exit, pushing through it and spilling out into the cold air. They didn't look back. Not until the school was far behind them, shrinking in the distance. The man never reappeared. Gasping, shaken, they stopped and tried to process what had just happened. It was no longer just about decay and history. This time, it was survival. That night changed everything. No shadows, no spirits, just a man, and a moment that could have gone very, very wrong. Sometimes the scariest thing in an abandoned building is someone who shouldn't be there at all. What if the next video is even crazier and you never see it? Subscribe now before you miss out forever.